did you prepare to travel? I did have to make some special preparations. For example, contacting my doctor, letting her know, okay, I'm going to be going away for a year. I will need medication for that time period. Can you work it out with my insurance company so that they will allow me to have a prescription filled for that time period? That is something that you do need to get under control. The other thing that I would do is have a serious talk with your doctor, not just about the medication, but about your reasons for traveling abroad, about your expectations, your physiological expectations for yourself traveling abroad. Ask your doctor, what you might expect, especially if you're talking about a completely different environment. Ask your doctor about that. He or she may be able to tell you, okay, you're gonna have more sun there, so it might be better. It's gonna be colder there. It doesn't hurt to ask questions. The other thing that I would say is not just your fibromyalgia, but check your psychological, your emotional overall health, because you need to be emotionally, psychologically prepared to travel if you have a chronic illness. It's just, you can't not be prepared in that kind of way. It doesn't make sense. If you're going to go to some place and be stressed out because you're there, or prior to getting there you're stressed out, then you're just going to be even sicker. And if you have fibromyalgia, stress makes us sick. There's no way around it. Stress of any sort makes us sicker than what we are. So you can't afford to have that kind of illness coming upon you on top of everything else. So I think of stress as a kind of illness because it makes me sick. So really try and monitor your stress levels. Really try and make sure that you feel good about yourself, about your plans, about what it is that you're trying to do, and go from there. Was it hard leaving, not knowing about how I would take care of my fibromyalgia? No, it wasn't hard leaving because I did have a sense of how I was going to take care of my fibromyalgia. As I said before, I did plan, my medication, for the time period that I would be away. I did consult with my doctors. I wasn't stressed leaving in that regard. I was stressed for other reasons, but not in regards to my fibromyalgia. I will say this, that I did not return home at the end of the 12 months as I had planned. So then I did become really stressed because I didn't have any more medications. I didn't have anything that I needed, and it did take a while for me to sort out just how I could get my medications and get everything sorted out. Luckily, because I'm connected to a school, I was able to speak with the doctors there and have a prescription written for myself so that I could get my medications. Now that I'm out of school, I'm again confronted with the situation of, where am I going to get my medications? How am I going to get my medications? But I am becoming a resident of Rome, so I shall have my own PCP, and I will be able to get my own medications taken care of in that way, get prescriptions taken care of in that way, and luckily pay less. Question 8 is, would I have done anything differently? I would have discussed with my university how to get access, to a local doctor here, because it's possible to do that. I didn't check out that information at all, and I really should have done that to be able to get the medical card so that I didn't have to pay a lot, or I wouldn't have to pay so much for my medication, and also to have access to a local doctor. I'm now solving those kinds of issues. So that's the one thing I would have done differently coming here. What would I recommend for length of stay? Well, I would say you want to spend a long time. If you're going to travel with fibromyalgia, I would never, ever, ever recommend that you do a hopscotching kind of thing where you're 2 days here, 3 days here, 1 day here, up and down, different environments. No, sorry, Bob. I would say choose an area, choose a place, spend enough time there so that your body can become adjusted to the environment. Because chances are, once you get there, your body's going to be stressed, it's going to react strongly. And I know for myself that I did become quite ill my very first time coming to Italy, and to Rome, I should say. And so I've learned that it's really important to have that extra time, I'd say no less than 10 days, for me at least, to be in a place and to get relaxed. Once I'm, adjusted, then I can move around. So, spend a couple of days, 2, 3, 4 days in one place, and then make a move to someplace else. But I wouldn't try to see 5 countries in 10 days or something like that. I would really try and monitor how much traveling I do. That's what I would say. I've learned is definitely you want to give yourself time, to give your body time to rest, to get adjusted, to acclimate. Do I travel outside of Rome a lot? I don't. I don't travel outside of Rome a lot. That's by choice. I understand very clearly for myself that I do become very ill very easily if I change my environments too often, you know. So my last trip that I made was at the beginning of December. I went to Venice, and prior to that, I'd taken some trips to Naples and to Florence over the years that I've been here. Part of it too is because I was also a student, so I was having to deal a lot with school and making sure I was here for school, so I haven't done as much traveling around. And so I guess that's it for the questions, and I will see you another time. If you have any other questions about fibromyalgia, feel free to leave me a message in the comments box below, or to send me a message if you'd like. You can also visit my blog, and I talk more about fibromyalgia there. You can actually track more of my journey and just kind of see emotionally what I've been through dealing with fibromyalgia. You can find me on Facebook at DiedreBlake, and you can also find me at Twitter at DIEMDMBlake. So, talk to you later. Bye. So I've decided to continue my discussion on fibromyalgia because I think that it's such a misunderstood diagnosis, particularly for the ones closest to you, actually. I don't think it's so much about the healthcare workers. I think they're used to unusual illnesses. Judgmental, but I do think that you face some challenges when you're dealing with those closest to you. You become another person to the people closest to you. They're used to you being in one way, and then suddenly you're not. Suddenly you can't do what you used to do, and whether the closeness is one that is romantic or work-related or familial or whatever, you still become a different person, and I think that's one of the hardest things for other people, but I think it's hard too for yourself, because you have to adjust to the idea that you're no longer who you understood yourself to be.